Speak to me, old wise one.
Terry, I get glimpses, and there's been a few occasions when I see again and again that there is no me, and then I'm happy for a day or two, and then it fades. It fades. So my question is, am I expecting it to be always happy and always joyful? I mean, when I realize there's no me, I can look at it and I can laugh, and my heart is full, and I get there's no me. I get that it's just happening. Whether that's all a mind wobble, I don't know, but I'm getting frustrated with that. It's because I get it. You there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. I get it, and then I don't know whether it's the mind comes in or whatever, and to me, the best pointer is what's wrong this moment if you don't think about it. That's the best pointer for me. And I try working with that and that, but I'm not sure whether I'm expecting always to be happy. And so that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, it it's all relative.
Because I see you guys in meetings and that, and you seem happy and you can laugh at stuff, and
That's all right. Yeah, that's because it's a great show. like really, there's a lot to laugh about in satsangs and stuff, like,
yeah.
But it's relative. Like,
am I expecting too much, or too much is not the right word, but like, is my head saying it should be this way, and it's not. It's just life. It's it's just living. It's just moment.
I really don't think I'm telling you anything you don't already know here in what I'm about to say, but anything,
that was a load of shite.
anything this says is bullshit.
I get that.
Anything.
I get
Anything, including, should I be happy or should I not be happy? Or, like, I get glimpses and blah, 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 blah. It's not you. That's not you. I know.
It gets so frustrating.
Yeah, but it only gets frustrating for the mind. It can only get frustrating for something that operates dualistically. If it's not dual, frustration can't even enter in. It's only duality. And the only thing that operates dualistically is the sixth sense. The other five senses don't operate dualistically. Have you noticed? Have you noticed?
Yeah.
What does seeing say about anything?
Nothing.
Does seeing
Nothing.
Good. Does seeing see colors? This will be a good one. Does seeing see colors?
I think it does.
Doesn't even know what colors is the seeing. The seeing would have to be dualistic to even discriminate between a purple and an orange color, a red and a green color. That information's got to go through the mind. It's got to go through the dualistic process for discrimination to occur. But seeing itself doesn't discriminate. It's a non-dual process. Seeing. Hearing. What does hearing say about anything?
Nothing.
Not a thing. Zero. It's non-dual. Seeing, hearing. What does tasting say about anything?
Nothing.
Zero. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching. What's the sense of touch say about anything?
Nothing.
Like I use that common one. You burn your hand on the stove and you, the experience is happening there. What does this say about the actual experience there? Nothing. Zero. Nada. It's not a dualistic experience. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. What does the sense of smell say about anything? But for any of those five senses to say anything about anything, each one would have to have a little mind of its own. And they don't. There's just the five senses, and then there's the sixth, which is the dualistic sense, the creative sense, the thinking sense. It's the only place dualism or duality arises is in the mind. Boom. Yeah. And then the mind is being used, the dualistic process is being used to try and discover non-dual, one, without a second. How can dual discover one? How can two discover one? Even if it could, let's say it could, yeah. When it did, there'd be two and one, which would make three. You're getting this, that the mind can't get this. It can't know this. And it's going to throw up all sorts of shit. You know, what's the, you know, should the experience be happy? Should it be this? Should it be blah, 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 blah. It's just, it can't find one. It can't experience one. Why? Because by nature, it's two. It's always two. Yeah, this is important, you know, because people get on this non-dual path, Liz, and they got no clue what duality is. No clue. Oh, but we're all trying to discover what the non-dual. You know, okay, we could talk about perhaps the non-dual a little bit later. What can you tell me about the dual? And people just look at me dumbfounded. What do you mean, the dual? Well, tell me about what you know about duality. What is it? Where is it? Where does it exist? Is it a reality? Is it real? What is it? People look at me like I'm, because I've never looked. Jesus Christ, what do you mean you've never looked? The whole looking at the me process is dualistic. The me is dependent on duality. The me, this personal sense of self or this idea of self, is dependent on duality. Totally, completely dependent on duality. So we should, like, if we're going to go looking for is there a me or not a me, we better also include what the hell is duality. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we miss it, Liz. We miss it. We miss it, you know, because we're so wanting to get this experience.
So intent on there. Yeah.
You know. See, the dualistic process is used for part of this journey, no doubt, but it's only used in coming to discover what you're not. It's absolutely useless in trying to discover what you are. Useless. The thinking mind I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Useless, just not, yeah. But a brilliant tool to be used to discover what you're not, or what is duality. Brilliant.
So how would one work with looking for duality? I mean, you just asked me a question of, can you see color? Can the seeing see color?
Yeah.
I suppose
So we don't realize, Liz, that the color purple, the color purple is dependent on thoughts to be purple.
say it's purple.
To be purple. It's also like a tree there or a tree there is dependent on thoughts for there to be a tree there and a separate tree there. Totally dependent on thoughts, because only thoughts that discriminate. What discrimination is there in the absence of thought? Now we're talking non-dual. No discrimination. There's no separation. There's no here, there, this, that. There's no red, green, blue, orange, here, there, without thought. Does duality exist out here?
No.
Oh yeah. No. Like, how do you know? Like, Yeah. Or is duality simply a product of thinking, the sixth sense? Just the sixth sense. And when that sixth sense collapses, completely collapses, and we're talking zero thoughts, zero. What's the experience then? Zero thoughts. Let's say for the next 10 years, zero thoughts. What would the experience be?
Beautiful. It'd be just being and observing and, what you say, the feeling and. Yeah.
Would any of that, that information that you just provided,
Yeah.
Can you provide that without thoughts?
I don't know.
Good, just look.
Can I provide that? You mean, can I convey that without thoughts?
Correct. The question is, what can you experience without a thought? Well, let me put it this way. What can you experience without the sixth sense?
Everything.
What's everything without this? When you say everything, what are you talking about?
Without thoughts. That
That, like, yeah, like in the complete absence of all thought, you'd be sitting here like you had a lobotomy. Literally, you'd just be. No discriminate, nothing, no idea of even sitting here, no idea of even being here, no idea of being, no idea of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, no idea. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No idea of anything, zero. You just sit here like you had a lobotomy. Is that what you're after?
No.
No. People
No.
get this wrong idea about this, Liz.
Yeah. That's
Look,
right. Yes.
Yeah. Look. There's a window, if you like, wherein the truth reveals itself to itself. Yeah. And that window is a moment. Don't ask me how long a moment is, because I'm not going to give you a.
Yeah. No.
It is a moment of the mind being absent. And there's something revealed in that. Something revealed in that. Other than just sitting here like you had a lobotomy. Yeah. There's a knowing that arises in that, which I often refer to as a non-dualistic knowing. It's a non-dual knowing. Yeah. Sometimes referred to as I am. Yeah, but that's two words. I am, two labels. So it's even prior to I am. Yeah. But we don't have to walk around all day long saying I am to know I am. We don't have to, there's already a knowing there. Knowing is already there. I am. Yeah. If it was dependent on thoughts, you'd literally have to be walking around all day long saying I am to continue to apparently exist, to be I am. And we don't. That's not the reality. Yeah. That's not the reality. Yeah. So there is a knowing here. There's a knowing that's not dependent on thought at all. And it's that knowing that reveals itself to itself. It sounds crazy, I know, but yeah. Now, then of course the question comes up, well, how do I get there? What do I have to do to get there? You know, that sounds pretty cool. You know, what I have to do, you know. And you'll always get the same answer from me in relation to that question, which is come to see what you're not. Whilst there's even the slightest belief that Elizabeth is here, yeah, or me is here, it's like the waking and the sleeping are just infinitely separated. Only the have the slightest preference. There's just the slightest. Now, I'm not saying, okay, have no preference, because who the hell would I be saying that to? Who would I say that to? Yeah. I'm just pointing to the reality of what actually occurs. Yeah. It is only thoughts that arise, and they just arise. Yeah. That gives an arising of seeming preference. All thoughts. I like this, I don't like that. says that. Yeah. Just a thought. Yeah. Non-dual is the absence of thought. But there's a, see, look, the reason, Lizzie, that look, the reason this is so damn hard, seriously, the reason this is so damn hard is that there's an assumption that this that is here, let's say yourself there, okay, this that is here, as in you, yeah, that's sitting there, is a person, and I'm inquiring into no personage. I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to really, truly discover that there isn't a person here, yeah, but there's a, okay. Now, that person that we take ourselves to be sitting here at the moment, even sitting here like this, Liz, I'll copy you. Right? Right? This one I'm talking about, yeah. This one, yeah. Why is it that that person that we take to be me feels and seems so real? Because look, if the me's got to go, surely then this has got to go too, doesn't it? Because this is the me, isn't it? If the me's got to go and the me believes it's alive and it's sitting here and it can see, hear, taste, touch and smell, and then it hears the me's got to go, does that not equate to death?
Yeah.
If we believe we're this, yeah, and then we hear the me's got to go, and there's a belief that the me can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. There's a belief that the me is conscious, aware, and awake. Yeah, and then we hear the me's got to go. That's death, isn't it?
I've heard you say this so many times, and yet.
What do you think what do you think the me's going to do? Hearing information like that, you think it's just going to roll over and go, "Oh, okay, I'll die, no problem." Do you think you could walk out the front now and just step in front of a moving bus? Like, you couldn't do that. Yeah. This that is here, this that is here, is the very
Yes.
Yeah. It's the very thing the mind is trying to experience. And it can't.
Yes.
And it can't. That's why the searching continues. I know, but it's okay. It's okay. Look, you've got to fully see and come to understand how the mind works. Duality. You got to see that, because it creates the illusion. It creates the seeming separation. It creates the me-age, Just the mind does that. And you can come to see fully how it operates and how it works. Yeah.
So ignoring the mind, like what I've done at times is just going around and whatever, I just ignore it and go on and ignore it. But that doesn't seem to be working. That like ignoring it is not doesn't seem to be working. Like I don't know what to do with it.
I know. Well, look, but see, that
it seems like I've got to sit with it and investigate it more.
That what you're doing is implying, is it not?
Yeah.
Mind is the problem. And if I just ignore it, it's implying that mind is the problem.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if I just ignore it,
it'll go away.
Right. So my question would be right there, who's going to ignore it? You come up with the me again, Liz. You just do. And that's why we go round and round and round and round and round and round.
So
Yeah.
in essence, what I think I hear you say, just and I know this is a concept, I'm aware that it's a concept, but it is, no, it's not accepting it. Oh, right, no, forget it. Oh.
It's all right. This is good. You have to. What
Yeah.
you're currently doing right now is exactly what's meant to happen. Yeah. There's going to be confusion. You're going to be teasing it apart, and you'll go to say something. You go, no, that's not it. That's all part of it.